everyone. Welcome to our productivity talk show, where we dive into the strategies, trends, and innovations shaping today's workplace. I'm Dr. Archana, HR head at We360.ai, and I'm thrilled to have you all join us for this insightful session on building high performance teams in the tech driven world. As the technology continues to evolve, the way we build, manage, and empower teams is changing rapidly. High performance teams are no longer just about skills and collaborations, they require adaptability, digital fluency, and a strong culture of continuous learning. To help us navigate these challenges and opportunities, we have two incredible speakers with us today. De Silva and Nitya Chandran. Their expertise in leadership, business of optimization, HR, and digital transformation will bring valuable insights to the table. So let's get started by introducing our esteemed guest. So our first speaker is Leonard De Silva. He's a principal consultant at Ecolite. Leo is the seasoned leader with extensive experience in the business process optimization, automation, and team efficiency strategies with a keen eye for leveraging technology to enhance the productivity. Leo has helped organizations streamline operations, build resilient teams, and drive impactful digital transformations. Today, he will share his insights on how technology can be powerful enabler for high performance team. So welcome, Leo. Pleasure hosting you today. I would also request, Leo, if you can talk more about your professional journey. Okay, so due to some network glitch, maybe Leo has left. No worries. Let me introduce our next speaker. Next speaker is Nitya Ravichandran. She's a senior executive of human resources at S&P Technologies. Nitya is a dynamic HR leader who has played a vital role in transforming HR strategy in tech-driven workplace with deep expertise in the talent acquisition, employee engagement, and HR technology. She has been instrumental in fostering the culture of innovation and the high performance. She will help us to explore how HR can navigate challenges, leverage data driven hiring, and create sustainable future ready team. So, welcome, Nitya. I would request if you can talk about your professional journey.
Yeah, sure. So I have around 6 years of experience in HR. So basically, I did my master's in human resource development. So at that time, I was thinking, okay, let us proceed with doctorate so that we can be more expertise in HR. So I was just proceeding with my doctorate. But as the time goes, I thought, okay, let's go for a job. Let's have a hands-on experience. So that will be more helpful rather than learning, keep on learning. We have to implement something. We should have some hands-on experience. So that's why I got beautiful jobs. Like basically, I'm from Tamil Nadu, so I got a job in S&P Technologies Hyderabad. So that's why I shifted to Hyderabad. So here I'm working as senior executive in human resource department. I'm handling all the HR operations, starting from recruitment, payroll, performance management, learning and development. So everything HR, I should say HR is not a job. HR is a responsibility. So wherein which we can interact with all the employees. Everybody will come to us, and I love my job for the sure. Yeah, and I'm really happy to be part of V360 today to have this talk show. Thank you for the opportunity.
That's wonderful. Pleasure is all ours. Leo, I would
Yeah.
request if you can also introduce yourself. You can talk more about your professional journey, please.
Yes, hi everyone. I'm Leonard De Silva, most fondly called by Leo by all my colleagues and friends. Easier and a short name. With over 22 years of experience across telecom and IT, I started my journey after my engineering in data teleservices, climbing up the poles and ladders to get things installed, to Reliance Infocom, and then with most of my work in the RPA and automation work for Tech Mahindra. And I've worked both in UK, US, also in China. So domestic as well as international experience have seen teams working collaboratively in a single location as well as across multiple locations and across the globe. So a wonderful experience so far in 22 years, and good to be on a Saturday afternoon with both of you talking on the topic all are waiting for.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So let's start our discussion. Our audience is, the waiting for the insightful discussion. So Leo, I would like to start the discussion with you. So as you said that you have worked with many organization, you have touched upon many industry. So in today's tech-driven world, what do you think that what are the key characteristics of truly high-performance team? So is there any common traits you have observed across the industry, or there are different kind of traits which you have observed with your experience in the working with the multiple industry?
So when we talk about high performance teams, everyone has an understanding that all are superhuman beings in that team, and you'll get the desired output at every given point of time. We need to understand, after all, we are humans. We have our strong points as well as our improvement areas. The most important thing is understanding what our strong points are and make use of it to achieve our desired results. Okay. There are multiple characteristics of high performance teams, but for me, three has always stood out. One is there has to be a team culture. Second is within the team, be it a two-member team or a 25-member team, or even bigger than that, you require to have trust and mutual respect. And last and the most important is to have effective and clear communication. Conversely, if you don't have these things, you will have issues. It will be an unhealthy environment, and you'll not be able to achieve the desired results here. So, and we have seen it earlier when you used to be co-located in a single building in your office space, to post-COVID times when you are working remotely, domestically in India or across the globe. Okay, but then to get the desired results, you have to still function, you have to still communicate, and there has been an advancement in lot of tools and technologies how you can collaborate and get that work done. So that's how I see how teams can structure themselves and to work as a high performance teams, the buzzword that people call about it, but it's in the end getting your desired results and working in an effective manner.
Yeah, that's true. So, is there any kind of a challenges in the different industries, or I understand that these are the three which points which you have raised that is actually the pillar of high performance team. But have you ever come across any kind of a challenges or any kind of a different kind of a style or strategy which people have adopted in different industries? Because in
Uh,
telecom there must be different style, and in other,
yes.
yeah.
So there is no different style again in today's dynamic world. You see people moving across, cutting across industries. Okay, earlier if you worked in a telecom domain, you would end your career in a telecom domain, or if you started in a finance domain, you would end your career in a finance domain. But it's not the same anymore. You work and you cut across organizations and domains, so whatever you bring in from a different area still fits into the new organization and area that you work in. In the end, like I mentioned earlier, it's collaborative and effective communication that helps you get across the line.
Yeah, absolutely. That is, the communication is key to success. Even if in your team, maybe the coordination is not better or maybe the communication is not clear, then obviously all the hustle and tussle will happen. That's for sure. Thank you so much for your input. So, Nitya, the next question I would like you to, give the insights on that. So, as you know, that the HR landscape is evolving fast, so, what do you think with your experience that how has the role of HR transformed in the tech-driven workplaces? Because nowadays it's like,
Okay.
you know, yeah, a lot of things, a lot of AI tools or automation tools are coming up. So the workplace are also transforming from the manual work, so automation and all AI and all the tools are coming up. So what do you think that? What is your opinion
Yeah.
here?
Yeah. So people used to say HR or non-technical person. But I will not say like that because we HR people use so much of technologies, especially the recruitment happens every day. Throughout the year, it happens. So we use ATS for that application tracking system. So payroll, it is run every month. So for that, we use separate tools. It is different for different organization. And we have training and development, which happens on ad hoc basis, and we have performance appraisal every year. For that we have PMS, and we have HRMS tool to maintain employee database. So HR is a department, we use all the technologies, like data is a god for us, I should say. So we are getting a data from entire department, and it is a sole responsibility to maintain the data. So to maintain the data and to drive some conclusion and to drive into some decision making, we definitely need some automation tools, and that is what we are using here. So I would say HR is a field that we are, of course, we are technically driven department, and we ensure that everything is up to date. If it's up to date, the company can run its business smoothly, because whenever they come for some decision making, they'll come to HR department for the data. So we make sure that everything is maintained properly with all the data is there in the company. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a wonderful insight from your side. So Leo, I'll come back to you again. So because you were talking about the team collaboration and all. So always we have observed that process optimization is often a game changer for team. So can you share how fine-tuning workflows can improve the collaboration and efficiency within the maybe the workforce or the workplace? What are your thoughts here?
Yes, coming from a business process management background, we mostly look at process optimization, process reengineering, how we can improvise on small processes, be it in an HR domain, be it in a different finance function, or be it in your day-to-day operational work that you do. Okay, there is lot of areas where you can improvise on, and there is lot of areas where there is just mundane task. Okay, doing the same mundane task over and over again, people and employees feel a lot disconnected. There is a term, and I quote my son who reads the book Ikigai. You have to have a purpose in life when you're coming to office every day. Okay, it's a boring activity. When you were a school kid, you had the same boring thought when you used to go, but you have to have a purpose in life, or your goal, what you want to do. And yes, with optimization, you see that okay, a lot of work can be structured, a lot of time of employees can be freed up, and they can look into other areas as well. Today technology is dynamic. Okay, what is your requirement today may change tomorrow. What work you're doing today may be redundant tomorrow. You have to praise with the changing times as well. So optimization, improvement areas, this helps a lot, and this gives a lot of confidence and excitement to the employees to try and look at new things and to work in a different area.
Yeah, definitely. So, Nitya, what would be your say on this? Like, sometimes when we are trying to, or maybe as a HR, if you are managing the high performance teams, so whenever, you're planning, or maybe you are trying to manage the high performance team, there are some sets of challenges which always come. So, what do you think that what are the most common roadblocks as a HR professional you have faced ever, and how you resolve that, or how can they overcome?
Yeah, yeah. So, high performance team managing them is very challenging, I should say, because suppose we have 10 candidates shortlisted, we'll be hiring the topmost talented. We'll be hiring the topmost talent out of the 10. So, we make sure the high performer is onboarded to our company. But the challenge we are facing is to retain them. We should continuously engage them. So, they are the people who don't rely on the hike, who don't mostly they won't rely on their financial need. They are the people who work for the job satisfaction and their career growth. So what they'll do is they need continuous work, like they need something to be engaged, up to date. They want to upgrade themselves. If those opportunities are not provided by the company, then they tend to move. So that is a part where we face a very big challenge. So maybe suppose if the project is going to end within a month, so for the next 1 month they have to be idle until the next project comes. We may lose this high performer candidate because they don't want to sit idle, because they are the people who wants to grow and upgrade themselves. So we HR, we have to go and talk to them often, like mostly the informal communication talks better. Instead of the formal communication, we can just go and sit for a coffee, just ask them how the work is going. Suppose if the project is not there, what will be your ideas? Are you willing to train the freshers? Like we have to ask them, like what is your plan out of it? All those we have to ask. And retaining them, of course, it is a very big challenging process. And if we retain the high performer in the team for a number of years, we are definitely a successful HR, I should say, because that is a place we are actually facing a challenge. Because hiring them is a challenge, as well as retaining them is the next big challenge. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And if you're able to understand the pulse of the organization, what is going on, what kind of a move they are, trying to take, maybe the person is satisfied or not satisfied, then obviously accordingly you can act or, plan your strategy. Yeah. So that's
Exactly,
absolutely,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you so much for this. Leo, I would like to take next question from you. So, I mean, there is a lot of debate around the automation that placing the traditional workflows. Maybe the AI is also going to eat up some jobs and all. So this is talk of the town. This debate is going on. So what do you think the automation enhances or maybe disrupts the team dynamics, and how can a leaders implement it without resistance? Because if it is a need of an hour, then everybody has to adopt that. So, if you can suggest few the strategy how leaders should, make their team convince or make them aware about how to, adopt that and all without resistance. If you can suggest some strategy, that would be helpful.
Sure. And this is one of my favorite questions. I've been with RPA for the past 9 years. So when I started it, automation was vilified. That means there was a lot of bad mouth about automation. Yeah, in fact, when I went to do my first project in US and to get insights, people knew that if automation is coming in, we might lose our jobs. Okay, there was a lot of pushback and resistance. But in this past 9 years, I've seen that change is the only constant. You have to adapt it and then adopt it if you want to move with the changing times itself. Uh, you might put automation, you might put AI, you might have Gen AI in doing a lot of work. But at the end of the day, this has to be managed by people. Technology cannot be a standalone solution. Someone has to manage it. And at the end, it's people. So if automation takes away 10 jobs, there are another 100 jobs coming in to take care of the automation work. So you one thing which I tell my team is you have to move with the changing times. There is one book which I always suggest, and one of my favorite book is by Stephen Johnson called "Who Moved My Cheese," and it's about moving around to find and adapt to the change. Okay, you can't sit in your cubicle and think that work would be the same even after 10 years. So that's how. But to make it exciting, you have to promote it a lot. Okay, there is a lot of things done by the HR. You have flyers coming out if there is any change, trainings that are there to support the employees, understanding of what's the need of the hour, what would be coming, the trends. So employees get a lot of insight into how they can change, how they can move. A business analyst, a BA's role 10 years back was simple setting, modeling, and getting the processes in place. Today, it's all the more different. There are tools you have to understand. And one thing which Nitya earlier mentioned in her HR space data, today everything is data driven. Be it AI, be it GPT, everything is, your solution is based on data. So unless you change, adapt it, and then adopt it into your day-to-day activity, you might end in on the other side of the table. So you have to definitely move with the changing times and pick in all the good things. Yes, it might be you might resist it at the start, but then that's the way going forward.
Yeah, that's true. And what is your opinion on that? I mean, because people are, a lot of, kind of confusion among the youngster that maybe the AI or the kind of automation tool which we are using. And Nitya, I would like to know your opinion also about that. So there is a fear, inside the youngsters that maybe the AI and the automation is going to, take up a lot of jobs. So,
Yeah.
what is your say on that?
Yeah, because you want me to answer or Leo is answering?
Yeah, yeah, Nitya, go ahead. I'll chip in after.
Okay, okay. So after AI, mostly in this first 3 year, last 3 years, you can see the changes in AI because many people think that AI is replacing the human jobs, but it's not like that. Especially in like I could say, there are so many repetitive jobs which is done on daily basis. So that is replaced by AI because human need not spend the work for a repetitive job. So especially if you think about this chat gpt or copilot, so that is a ai tool. Like everybody have to use it. Like we can welcome ai. Actually it is making our work much better, much easier also. So whenever candidates used to say like I've been working with .NET, I'm working in Angular, so they feel that PHP and all these are older version and AI is going to overcome our job. So maybe in the next 4 or 5 years, we may tend to lose the job and we have to upgrade ourselves. It's not like that. Every developing tool has its own criteria, has its own pros and cons. So even AI, we have to welcome AI, and in HR also we are using AI in most of the parts. So especially in HR department, I would say this AI is making the work easier because we have so much of repetitive jobs every day, and instead of human power to involve in those jobs, this ai makes the work easy for us. So I think that is really like we have to welcome wholeheartedly when ai take over something. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Leo, I would also like you to add here.
yes, just to add in here, I can give an example of my own home as well. When people talk about AI, they talk about IT industry and they talk about the jobs in the IT industry. Okay, our world is made up of multiple industries. My wife is a teacher. She uses AI, Chat GPT in most of her work in teaching students as well. It enhances to and to manage that AI. There is a lot of people at the background working on it. My son, he's a music and sports football enthusiast. They use data to understand how every move goes and what is the everything with AI. So that's the understanding. When people talk about jobs, they think that it's IT. IT jobs will be taken over and AI is only specific, but there are all the industries from banking to sports to be it the teaching line, travel and tourism. Everyone uses it. And like I said at the start, there have to be people to manage the AI, the algorithms, the LLMs, all these things at the back end. Those are creating even thousands of jobs more than what the jobs are taken over. So people have to understand, but you require to change, you require to adapt, and you have to learn. Okay, if you don't learn and you're not in line with the trending times, then you might miss the bus. So that's the thin line between jobs being taken, the uncertainty, the security feeling over there, compared to learning new things, trying to see that how I can improvise and align with the new trends and take it forward.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So Nitya, actually very interesting question because you are from the, you have a good number of years of experience in the hiring. So one very interesting question is coming up for you. That is because nowadays all the HRs are not relying on the traditional hiring methods. So if you can talk more about how the traditional hiring methods are shifting, and if you can share some of the innovative ways of how the talent acquisition strategies that are actually proving effective in today's digital first world.
Yeah. Okay, so recruitment is a key for the company because hiring a right candidate at the right place is a crucial process. If that step is success, then the next step would be definitely successful for sure. So hiring plays a major role for any company. We have so many sources, like I should say, like we are using Naukri, LinkedIn. We have so many sources. Apart from that, we have n number of sources like Monster. We can use the recruitment vendor. We have the referral programs, everything we have. But the data speaks, I should say. Suppose we have an opening for AI, for example, I'm just telling. We can just see the data for the past 3 years. What is happening? The suppose last year we have hired some AI person. Which source we hired them? Either through the referral program or through a vendor or through some digital sources. So, which was a successful rate? Because nowadays, most of them are open to job. They are easily switching the job. So, with one click, they can apply to n number of companies. But the only thing is, we have to hire a right person. So, the data speaks. We can go through the past data, which shows the success rate. Which one is better for our company? So, if we move in that direction, that would be better. And I would suggest people nowadays using Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. So those are the social media platform everybody are using. So I would suggest all the recruiters in my team, I would say post in those platform also because it would definitely reach the right person. So don't just rely on one or two platform which your company gives you. You can use your personal IDs. You can post wherever you want. Where it our sources to have a good reach. It should reach the wide number of audience because we have in our hand, we have a mobile in our hand. Everything can go in a click. So I should say recruiters have to use it all the sources properly. Only then we can get a right candidates. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's true. I mean we are not limited to certain geographies and all. So
Yeah.
your reach, whenever you or wherever you want to reach, you can go there. And with the growing remote culture, so you can hire anybody from anywhere. So
Yeah.
nowadays that the talent pool is not limited. Even we get a lot of maybe deserving candidates while doing the recruitment for one position. So that's very I would say very wonderful thing happened with the digitalization and all.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Exactly.
thanks. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just to add into what Nitya said, again, technology plays a part. Each and every person is on social media. So at the click of a button, you'll get an entire history of a particular candidate with the certification, what he or she has done in the past months and years. So you get the entire data from all sources as well. So again, that's technology driven, which helps us enhance the recruitment and hiring process as well. So in a close net, everything is goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
And if you see it on the brighter side of things, it's a positive. If you don't adapt or take it, it's on the negative side of things.
Correct, correct, correct.
Yeah.
So, Leo, I would request if you could talk more about like because these kind of a change things comes under the change management. So, change management is always a challenging task because people have that kind of inertia with them. So they do not want to change themselves from the traditional style of doing it. So whenever we introduce the new technologies, obviously there is kind of a inertia within the team. So what do you think that what are some effective strategies for ensuring the smooth transition within the teams?
Uh, First and foremost, what organizations have done and which I've seen is first you're confined to a single department or a single function within an organization. What organizations have started doing is moving employees or asking employees if they want to move to a different area, cross skilling, cross functional training as well. That helps them to understand the different areas as well. So if there is a change coming in, like I mentioned, change is the only constant. You cannot avoid it. It will sometime or the other come, and you have to face it. So if you want to work, learn something new. This has already been taken care of earlier within the game before a change is thrown across. Okay. Another thing which I've seen compared to earlier, when there was a change, be it in a digital transformation or in the way of working, it used to go big bang. Nowadays, companies have adopted a strategy of breaking it into smaller chunks, so that you do a smaller piece of work, see how it fits, what are the pros and cons, and then move to the next area. From technology to systems to the people, everything is analyzed, evaluated, and then the next step is taken into it. So change as part of it is also important. It's a three-way mix of things: people, process, and technology. So if any one is changed, the other two have to adapt to it as well. So that's how it is, and people are understanding it. They're compared to trainings that were built in earlier to the trainings that have been offered by companies, be it internal or external. It helps employees to understand what is required, what is the change anticipated, and people have put in a change management model as well to analyze and to keep a track of how employees respond to it. So that helps engaging it. Yes, it's a slow process for some, it might be a fast paced process for others. We talk today in terms of agile way of working compared to a waterfall way of working earlier, not only in projects but in a normal day to day in our operational area as well. So that's another fit into adapting the change and then adopting it and again making it your way of life.
True. Nitya, would you like to contribute here?
So, as he said, change, we should welcome the change because there are many people who would like to do the repetitive works because they'll have the fear, suppose if we change, that may be a failure. They should not be like that. Only if we take the risk to overcome the change, to face the change, they can upgrade themselves. So I go with Leo. Like change is the only thing. Like they should welcome. That is a very important thing for any employee. Yeah.
Correct. Correct. Nitya, the next question is like, from you. And as you know that, nowadays that kind of a hybrid culture or maybe the remote culture is actually evolving. And people are preferring it a lot. So when people are, maybe the employees are at the office, their engagement and all becomes quite easier. But when they are away, they are at the different locations, it is quite difficult. So what are some strategies you would suggest for maybe the work from office employees and for remote employees to make them engaged or make them, obviously they should be, if they are engaged then obviously they will perform well. So what are the few strategy you would like to suggest?
Yeah, this is really an interesting question because after COVID, most of them started working remotely. But if you really go and sit near and talk to them, you will, many people who work from home will say that they are in stress because they are working like between the four walls. They have to sit inside the home for all the day. But people who work from office, no, like they can travel, they can meet their colleague, they can go for a coffee, they can go together for a lunch, so at least they can breathe something which is out of the wall. But for the remote employees it's not like that. They should be inside the walls, so they don't have the time to interact with their colleagues, like meeting their manager. Like we'll go for a coffee when the manager is coming near us, we can informally approach, we can talk about a promotion very casually. But for the remote employees it's not like that. We have to set a Teams call, and we'll have a lot of restrictions whether we can ask now or shall we ask tomorrow, is it the right time to ask. So they have a lot of restrictions. So one of my friend, she is from north, so she's completely she's working from home. So, since she's working from home, to monitor her productivity in the back end, her company has said that she has to work at least for 10 hours a day. So, which is working for 10 hours a day, sitting in the same place would be very difficult. So, they'll have a stand up meeting every day. So, giving them a task, the task would have been completed that she'll complete within 3 to 4 hours. So, after that, the work she has is nothing. In order to maintain the productivity, she'll be sitting in front of the laptop for so long hours to prove to the manager that she is maintaining a productivity. As a result, she got frustration, she got hypertension. Immediately, she ran to her HR, stating that I'm facing so and so issue. After finishing the task, I'm sitting idle for so long hours in order to prove my productivity. So, what will be the solution for that? So, the HR went and talked to the particular manager. If the task is completed, just leave the employee, so let them also breathe for some time. So that was the solution given by the HR. So manager also accepted it. So from that time onwards, she is free. The task is done on time. She'll send the report. She loved doing work from home now. So she's engaged. And from my part, I would say most of the engagement activities, whatever is happening in the company, we tend to exclude the people who are working from home because they cannot participate. So suppose if we make virtual, we have to make separate arrangement for them. So coordinating everybody together would be quite difficult. So they need some recognition. So yearly once, when we give rewards and recognition, that particular work from home remote employees also has to be rewarded, and that recognition would be the pride for them, because sitting inside the home, like not having much chat with your colleagues in physically, would be like they would feel that they are isolated. To overcome that, we have to recognize them. So that recognition would be the key point to motivate the remote employees. So that is the strategy that I would suggest to all the HR. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for inputs. Yeah, definitely. I mean, sometimes this happens, and I mean, maybe when they are sitting in the one at the one place, then definitely this actually catches a lot of health issues and all. But with the time, if they understand that how to treat the remote employees, if the organizations are aware, if they are giving them quite liberty, because in the office, very well said by you that we have a time to chit chat with the colleagues, we take lunch together, go for the coffee. So all such thing or all such times are included. But whenever there is someone who is working remotely, people expect that continuously they should be at the workplace so that they can monitor them how they are working. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's absolutely true. Yeah, so definitely
And
organizations has to. Yes, yes, Leo, you want to add on something?
no, and there are pros and cons. I work from home. Okay, I work normally
Okay.
work from home, so I can resonate. But being in Mumbai uh, is something a blessing. Traveling by locals 4 hours a day when I used to
Yeah.
travel earlier. Okay, so there are pros and cons in every aspect. Yes, I miss sharing that lunch box or having that cup of chai with my colleagues, but the travel of 4 hours per day through the crowded trains and all, uh, taking away that part, it gives you okay a sense of fulfillment that you are here, you have a lot of time to think, to work on. And like Nitya said earlier, uh, to hire and to recruit people, it was specific. If you had Hyderabad, you had to find people in Hyderabad or in Mumbai itself. Relocation was very difficult. Or there were a lot of things that you had to give. And if you had family, people used to not relocate. So you used to lose on candidates as well. With remote, you can have good candidates across not only India, across the globe, helping you out as part of your organization. So there are pros and cons everywhere. Yes, and it's a big challenge, especially for the HR, to find a common ground. Okay, to having remote workers, to having the best workers, how it fits in, what's the strategy. So I think so. They have a lot of things to do in coming up in the near future as well, taking all this into account of how they want to work on things. Yes, I miss out on few of the functions and occasions that happen in our offices in Bangalore and Hyderabad. being remote and virtually is not the same as being physically present. So but then it's on the employee as well what best suits them in terms of we talk about the family and professional life balance as well. So what is your take? What is your fulfillment of how you want to get things done? And once the employees understand it, that's a win-win situation for the organizations and for everyone as well.
Yeah, and as Leo said, I agree with that point because this recruitment has become easier, quite easier comparing to those days. If we offer remote job, like we can hire people all across the globe. We need not ask the candidate, you're willing to relocate, you're willing to work from office. It's not like that. So the remote option, like it's a best option for the, like we can recruit the person. We have the talent pool works in the remote job comparing to if we give work from office. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as Leo said that, the traveling, time as well as the cost also they are saving. So people are also very vocal about it. Like if they have that kind of a need, they simply tell you that, a lot of cost they are going to save. And, even the relocation challenges also they can avoid in that fashion. So they are also
Yeah.
kind of a demanding in that way that if it is a remote, then I'm perfectly okay with that. I'm ready
Yeah.
to contribute. Yeah, so that's absolutely true. So Leo, with your experience, I want you to give the suggestion to the audience that sometimes this happens that with changing of the trend that is with AI and automation that is advancing rapidly. So how can organization ensure that technology empowers the employee rather than making them redundant? Because it's the organization's responsibility sometimes they are adopting the technology, but they are simultaneously not training their employee. So they are becoming redundant so that they have to replace their workplace. So what would be your suggestion?
So again, as part of coming back to the earlier and to our original topic as well of high performance teams, okay, and technology, teams are not just IT enthusiasts. Okay, it's a mix of functional and technical people as well working together. Okay, earlier it was that there were defined roles, defined jobs as well. Uh, Currently organizations don't want doers. And Nitya mentioned a good point at the start. People want to do something different. Okay, currently that I also seen the trend. More than hike and financial security, people want to look at job satisfaction, what they want to do. High performance team actually involves innovators, thinkers as well. How you want to do things differently. Okay, and the challenge is to have all these people on a common ground. Okay, once they are on the common ground, they understand what the end goal is, what the organizational goal is, the functional, the technical people, they help. Okay, so it's not when there is new technology embedded, it reflects not only on the IT side of things, on the functional side of things. You require to have soft skills as well. You require to be a good communicator. You have to be a good presenter. You have to be working closely the others. Uh, Organizations have started doing things earlier as well. Like I said, flyers go in. What's the change there? What's the new technology? How you have to upskill yourself. Unless you upskill yourself, you might not play a role in the next flagship of the next 5 years or 10 years as well. That's why companies have been trying to get their employees upskilled. Taking when I started RPA, robotic process, 9 years back, it was something new. Okay? People didn't understand that, and no one wanted to adapt to it or take it as a change. They were comfortable in their own small confinement. They understood the importance. What's the next phase? How they have to upskill themselves. And upskilling yourself not only helps you in your job journey or in your future planning, it helps you to spread that thing within your family as well. I share all the insights with my son. It helps to keep abased with the evolving times. So people have understood that that's the new way of working, and that has helped. Uh, Better than not telling and then sending out communication, training packages, support what is required, engaging in one-on-one. Earlier there was just appraisals at the end of the year. Currently there is has been a lot of change in that. There has been a lot of communication, be it between a team leader and employee, the team leader and his manager, or the director, and all. There is one-on-one communication to understand the velocity of your team, the capacity of your team, the capability of your team, what is missing, what is required, what are the gaps, and how you can fulfill them as well. So lot of things have changed, lot of uh, things have been put in. HR has played a big role because they take care of the employees as well. So when the top down approach comes, it comes to us on the operational level at the last, but then it is discussed between HR and the C suite of people in the organizations before it comes down to us. So,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, organizations should have that upskilling budget, and obviously they should plan accordingly. So, well said by you. So, Nitya, I would like to take one last question from your side. That if we talk about the high performance, then if you want to build a high performance culture within the organization, then continuous learning is the key to success for that. As Leo also said, that the upskilling organization should plan the upskilling and all. So, how can organization foster a mindset of ongoing growth and development among the employees? What are your thoughts here?
Okay. So for this, like nowadays, most of the freshers, I should say, they know the pulse of software industry because people they tend to work with their colleagues. They tend to ask their colleagues about the IT industry, how the colleagues will be, how the 5 years employee will be, how the 10 years employee will be. They tend to know about it. So we should say fresher, they maybe by experience they are fresher, but I should say they are the people who know what is IT industry. We are the people who have seen before AI and after AI, but fresher know what is AI, how the people are using it, and what is really welcomed by the manager. So they know everything. So for to handle those people, we should give them the learning and development criteria. Nowadays the target is given to all the employees, before the performance appraisal cycle, you have to complete at least two certification. Many would regret this certification cost around 12,000. Why do I have to put it from my pocket and all? But they will have the curiosity to learn. Only thing is, they tend to regret to spend money from the pocket to upgrade their skill. So it is the duty from the HR department to know what they actually feel. Now, most of the companies are sponsoring the certification. Like you can reimburse the amount. People, if we do those things, no, instead of having two targets, employees would finish even three targets. It is like a win-win criteria. As a case, manager also would be satisfied that my team member is being certified with so and so places, and the employee also would be satisfied that I have completed my certification, which I can add to my resume, which will be more helpful for my career. So we have to sit and stand in the shoes of employers and really know what they are actually expecting. I think that is the most important thing that will make a very good work environment for them. As a HR, we have to play a role in that only. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. Putting ourselves in other shoes and understanding what are the nitty-gritties and the challenges and how we can, deal with the mindset of that kind of, the crowd. That is actually important. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the interest of time, we need to conclude the session here. I would say it was a fantastic, discussion with both of you, Leo and Nitya. Thank you so much for sharing such a valuable insights on building the high performance team in this ever evolving tech landscape. It's clear that while technology is powerful tool, the real key to the success lies in adaptability, collaboration, and the culture of continuous learning. To everyone who joined us today, thank you so much for your time and engagement. I hope you found this session thought provoking and gained the actionable takeaways to apply in your own workplace. So let's continue this conversation. Feel free to connect with us online and share your thoughts. So thank you so much, Leo,
Thanks,
and thank you
Archana.
so much, Nitya, for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you so much, Achna. Thank you. Thank you, Leo.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thanks.
yeah.
So until next time, stay inspired and keep building those high performance team. Thank you so
Sure.
much, everyone, for joining us today.